Hello everyone, I'm Harvey and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. As you can see, I finished 4th overall and 1st in England in the 2021 season in FPL, and I would like to share some tips and tricks to help you along your FPL journey. Let's dive straight into it. So if we just review the game week that I had previously for game week 1, you can see I got 63 points, which is 6 points above the average, obviously 127 being the highest, so let's not focus on the highest right now, but it's an average game week at best. Obviously Diogo Jota scored, Salah scored and got an assist, so that kind of killed my rank a little bit. Pedro Porro actually picked my rank up on Monday evening because he scored and got a few bonus points. Alexander-Arnold, obviously he got a few bonus points as well, possibly an assist that should have happened. As you can see, he got expected assists of 1.18, so yeah, I think it was for a header for Jota as well in that situation, so yeah, that could have been even more points in that situation. Saka got a goal and assist, which kind of saved my game week a little bit, and Isaac disappointed after Cher got a red card for the most dubious headbutt in the world, but he did make that initial lean forward to obviously give the referee a decision to make, and yeah, he only came away with 5 points, just 1 assist, and being my captain, that's 10 points, so yeah, it's not the best score in the world, but yeah, I can't really complain at the moment. And then obviously Haaland got a goal against Chelsea and 1 bonus, so yeah, just an average game week. Overall, nothing to really complain about. Obviously having Salah may have made a difference over Saka, but again, Saka scored and got an assist as well, so yeah, there's certainly positives and negatives to take into next week. Now if we progress on to my team selection for game week 2, as you can see, there aren't any changes at the moment. I've just heard the news from Solanke that he's actually injured for game week 2. He actually had a swollen ankle after a knock on Monday evening's game, so he will be transferred out this week. Even though I've got Rodgers as a potential backup, I just don't see him getting any goals or assists or any returns against Arsenal, because obviously they're the best defence in the league at the moment. So yeah, Solanke will be leaving the team. I will discuss the possible transfer options but yeah, there are some concerns about other players in my team as well, like Nkunku. Obviously Chelsea had a fixture yesterday, Thursday evening, for when you're watching this episode. He came up in the 57th minute and scored a penalty. There were some concerns because he started that he may be a doubt for the weekend, but in my opinion, I think it's a positive that he started. I think Maresca's just trying to get his minutes up, and he's got plenty of minutes in the tank from pre-season anyway, so I think he's just gradually building up the fitness for Nkunku, and I can't see this being a negative, so therefore I see him starting at the weekend. Famous last words, but yeah, that's my prediction. So obviously he stays in the team. Wolves away is a good fixture, and when it eventually loads, as you can see, the future fixtures for Chelsea read quite well. If we go to fixtures, and then yeah, so we've got Wolves away, Crystal Palace at home, Bournemouth away, and yeah, just a sea of green really after game week 1's fixture against City. So I think he's a keep at the moment, and Pedro Neto actually started the game yesterday on Thursday evening, and Maresca's actually said that he possibly won't start at the weekend, so I could see Nkunku starting either left wing or left cam, or starting as number 10 instead of Jackson, because Jackson didn't really impress in the first game week. So yeah, there's no real issues really in my opinion until there are issues. So yeah, I'll definitely keep Nkunku at the moment. In terms of other problems in the team, obviously Pedro Porro had a slight knock on Monday evening. He came off slightly early in the 89th or 90th minute for Jed Spence, but yeah, I can't see this being a problem, and Ange has actually confirmed in a separate press conference that Pedro is actually fine for the game this weekend, so yeah, no issues there. And against Everton at home, I can see him getting a clean sheet and maybe an attacking return again as well. But in terms of other issues in my team, obviously I've got Barker on the bench. He's rumoured to be leaving to Sevilla, possibly this weekend on loan. So he will eventually be taken away from the game, and in terms of whether his price will rise or drop after he's left, it's only going to drop really, but it won't actually drop once he's taken out the game and transferred officially to Sevilla, because he's actually, obviously I said before, taken off the game, so his price can't actually go down. So he's just a dead rubber in my team at the moment. And he's just sitting on my bench anyway, so I don't need him to play this week. I mean, hopefully the 3 defenders that I have all start, because there's no injury problems there. But if, in hindsight, if one defender was to not start, then obviously Johnson would come on against City away, which is not ideal. But yeah, let's hope that they will start. And yeah, the Barco transfer news came out of nowhere really, because I thought Barco was nailed for that first fixture against Everton, but evidently not. So to conclude, this is the team for Gameweek 2, as you can see, and Haaland I think is the obvious captain choice for this week. Solanke was going to be my vice captain before hearing the injury news, so I'll have to switch him on to someone else, either probably Gibbs White or Diogo Jota maybe, at Brentford at home. So yeah, I think it's a difficult decision in terms of having to remove Solanke, but there are a few options that I'll discuss in a moment. Now, moving on to the transfer options or targets for Solanke's replacement. Obviously, I haven't got any money in the bank beyond Solanke's 7.5 million price tag. But for those that have 0.5 in the bank and you wish to move him on to someone like a Kai Havertz, obviously you can see Kai Havertz has gone up in price to 8.1, so he's not affordable anymore for you guys. But I would still look to go elsewhere anyway, because I think Havertz, his fixtures for the upcoming are not the greatest. Obviously they've got City away in Gameweek 5 and a few red fixtures either side of that. So yeah, I'd say he's a wait and see at the moment, Kai Havertz. So I wouldn't jump to rip up your team and change your team to make sure he comes in. So there are a few other options that you can consider. Mateta, not for me. I think he's a bit overpriced this season. Jackson, definitely not, because I don't see him starting in Game Week 2. Darwin and Gakpo, there's always rotation risks within the Liverpool team, so I wouldn't touch them. Tony, again, Frank's just been a bit vague on his whereabouts at the moment, because obviously Tony wasn't included in the first Game Week 1 squad. So yeah, I think that's amidst the transfer speculation. So yeah, I'll steer clear of him. Fulkrog maybe in future, but as you can see, the fixtures aren't great in the upcoming 3. So again, I'll steer clear. Richarlison maybe is a 1 week punt because Solanke's out, because I think Richarlison will start against Everton at home, who will look leaky against Brighton in the first game week. But yeah, again, I don't think it's worth bringing him in for just 1 game week. Xerxes, I think, again, there's always transfers at the start of the season where one person scores and everyone rates them all of a sudden, but I can't see him starting against Brighton away. So again, he's a wait and see. Gabriel Jesus, he's again another rotation risk with Kai Havertz, so I can't see him starting either. Maybe Cunha if you want to. I think he will start. He's declared fit for this weekend, so he's a possibility. But yeah, again, I'll steer clear. Lukaku's looking to move away from Chelsea, so yeah, not him. Awoniyi, again, he's a second backup to Chris Wood. And to discuss Chris Wood in the same sentence, I would consider him, but Nketiah actually is rumoured to go to Nottingham Forest quite soon. So yeah, I would steer clear of any Nottingham Forest striker at the moment. Calvert-Lewin possibly, but they've got Tottenham away. Duran, he's obviously on the bench. Evan Nilsson, yeah, he's a penalty taker. Suspected penalty taker for Bournemouth when he eventually starts playing for them. The fixtures again aren't the greatest, so yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere near him at the moment. I'll obviously wait and see to see how he fits in that Bournemouth team. He could be an option going forward, but yeah, not for now. Muniz, I'd say, is probably the favourite to replace Solanke for me. His fixtures are just brilliant. As you can see, they've got 3 greens and greens beyond that as well. Newcastle at home isn't a bad fixture either, because they're without, well, they won't be without Shah there, but the defence looked leaky against Southampton, and probably they were lucky to come away with a win. So yeah, I think his sea of green fixtures and the overall fixtures look pretty decent for Muniz, so I'll definitely consider him if I were you. I think he's favourite to, as I said, to replace Solanke for me. But apart from that, this obviously did well in Gameweek 1, but again, the fixtures aren't great. As you can see, Liverpool away and City away in the next 3. Chris Wood, we've spoken about. Antonio, yeah, again with Fulkrug, similar situation. I can't see him starting long term. And the only other option that I would consider is below Antonio, and it's Armstrong from Southampton. He looked really lively against Newcastle, albeit playing against 10 men after the Shah red card. But yeah, I can see, look, all of the fixtures that are coming up, they're brilliant. He's on penalties. He had 4 shots in the box against Newcastle, which I think was the second best amongst all strikers. So yeah, I'd definitely consider him if I were you. He's obviously a budget player. He's only 5.5 mil, and he's actually a differential as well, 1.7% selected. So you see the Muniz or Armstrong for me, and I'll discuss who I'm going for in the next section of the video. So as you can see, there's one difference to my team selection for this week, and it is Muniz, who has come in for Solanke. Solanke's only injured for 1 game week, by the way, where it's estimated to be 1 game week. So if you have him and you have a 8th attacker, i.e. a 5th midfielder that's playable, I've got Morgan Rogers against Arsenal, so for me he's not playable. He's only for emergencies. So if you had, say, a Smith Rowe who's got Leicester at home, I would definitely play him rather than making the transfer for Solanke. So yeah, Muniz is my striker of choice as a replacement for Solanke this game week. So yeah, he's in. As I said before, you can go for Armstrong if you want to. Another great alternative, also 0.5 cheaper, and on penalties. It's not confirmed that Muniz is on penalties because Andreas Pereira can take them for Fulham, so he possibly doesn't have the penalties, but his overall attacking threat and Fulham as a team, I think, are better than Southampton. And yeah, it's just the unknown of a new promoted side in Southampton. So yeah, I think Muniz is there as a great alternative, and probably the best alternative for Solanke. So obviously he's made his way into the team, and I'm tempted to vice captain him on second thoughts ahead of those options that I discussed previously, like Gibbs White and Diogo Jota. So yeah, he's in, and possibly a vice captain shout. But that's my team for this week. Thank you for watching this episode. If you could please like, subscribe and comment on what I should do next, that would be great. See you in the next one.